So I want to do a video on swing trading and just taking high probability setups. And before I get into the video, come over to ZTRADEZ.net, check out our terms and conditions page. If you do not agree to the terms and conditions and the disclaimer, do not watch this video and do not join the free community as well as the newsletter in the description of this video. A lot of times I'm seeing newer traders like, what do I get in? What do I get in? What do I get in? And they're so antsy. And they're like, okay, I finally got something. Oh, I feel better now. And it's like, really, you're just antsy is what it is. And you want to get rid of that antsiness and you want that hope and that optimism. It's just like they're just chasing a thrill. That's all it is. They're chasing a thrill. After you torch, when you're new, account after account after account, where you're like, I literally can't do this anymore. Then, when you're not trying to do stuff for the thrill, the problem is with the new people, they don't even know what to look for. So they're just clueless. They don't know that there's no setups. They just want to get in something and they're chasing that high. It's very entertaining. You know, I used to use trading at my call center job when I was out of college, and it would ease the day. It would make the day go by easier because I could take my mind off. Other people could like stomach sitting there in a cubicle. I mean, I just could not wrap my head around that, you know? And I'm thinking the whole day. I'm going to get on topic here in a second, but I'm thinking the whole day. I went to college for this. I'm going to do this for 30 years and then retire. You know, it freaked me out. And everyone else was fine. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with everyone? Trading helped me out. Anything to distract me. Anything that would motivate me to get to work. And it was thrilling. It was entertaining. It was pure gambling whenever I first started. I didn't know what I was looking for. Those of you that want to swing trade, we'll do a whole series on swing trading. There isn't always good setups. There may be months before I see a really good setup that I'm very excited about. Playing simple EMAs, just reversal candles off EMAs. We could start there. There's other conditions that go into it, many other conditions, and I'm not going to get into those. But playing simple EMA bounces, I wonder if I can go ahead and change. We'll leave the EMAs dotted. A simple almost hammer right here on the 100 on AMD, high likelihood of bouncing. We went from 111 to the following day of almost 15. 3 days later, we're at 119. Not bad. I'm going to go into a play that I just nailed recently. Let's take a look at Oracle. It seems like Oracle always has great. Gosh, did Oracle run from this bottom? 118 to 261. What an amazing move there. This is what I really like to see, is when all the EMAs are wrapped together like rope and you're having candlesticks meeting right on it. That's usually a sign that something big's going to happen, which it did. We're at 143. A few days later at 174. Why don't you take a look at Oracle over here? Look at this right here. Right into, and this is right where the 200 and the 100 are meeting. We have a touch right there. 155. The very next day, we're at 162. That's a lot. If you're in options, that's a lot of money. Like, that's a lot of bread. A whole lot of bread. Right? If I left a runner, I mean, just look at the move on that to 215. It's just wild. Absolutely wild. Let's move on to what I'm trying to make is here, have a condition for swing trading. Simple EMAs. Go back, do this. Go back and look at all the stocks. Pull up your EMAs and look at what happened when they touched them. I used to spend like an hour before bed just seeing what they would do when they would touch the EMAs. And I would learn reversal candles. Candles that are inside and outside of the previous candle as well. Kind of like this one. Look at this. We're right on the 100 here. This body is outside of that body, and these are both bullish reversal candles. Two of them both resting on the 100. Even if I didn't play this big move, you don't know if that move's going to happen. Still, 106 the next day, we had a high of 114. That's insane money. And the contracts on this stock, since it's newer, just like Reddit and it's never split, they freaking move. They move. So here's what, look at this right here. Actually, I take that back. You can't count this. You can't do the 200 because it hasn't been out 200 days. In fact, I may not be able to use this. I'm just realizing this now. Now I look kind of dumb. This hasn't been out 200 days. Hasn't been out 200 days because it's a newer stock. We came out in March, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, coming up on 7. How many days? 3 times. Yeah, no, we can just about use this. Just about. 200 days. Okay. Candlesticks, candlestick patterns, EMAs. It's real simple. Some people use SMAs. It's preference. You can use either. I simply like EMAs a lot better. SMAs, people are using EMAs for crossovers. Okay, they all crossed over on a buy calls. In this condition, it would have worked. In most conditions, it's delayed and it doesn't work. I'm playing them for acting as a support and a resistance in a sense, which is what SMAs work even better for that. They're very delayed whenever you're looking at a crossover on a daily. Let's see what's going on with CRWV. We have down here the 200, 1, 2, 3 candlestick pattern reversal, right? Let's count the bullish conditions. First off, SPY. Let's just see. We're going to come back to this. SPY closed a nearly picture perfect hammer on the daily. Is it up? Not really right now. We'll see what happens. QQQ. That is a hammer right there. Wick needs to be twice as long as the body, and it appears on a dip. That is a hammer right there, right? Snap downwards, hammer. It would have been nice if it touched the 50 right here. That's the 50, isn't it? I have different colors on different scripts. Hammer. I'm seeing there's a hammer or near it on nearly every one of the NVIDIA's up right now, AH, on a lot of these stocks, right? So I'm expecting the market to push today. Well, that is beautiful right there. We're hammering right off the 200. So let's count the bulls. The market's bull. The indicators are bull. We have a bullish candlestick on the daily. There's number 1. Bull case number 1. Bull case number 2. We're near this 200 EMA. All right. Number 3, we are beaten down. You can count that as bullish at a bull case because I'm not. You could also count it against it because the trend is bearish, right? But we also have, so we're at 3 bulls, right? Okay, so market bullish indicators, 200 EMA, 1, 2, 3 candlestick pattern reversal pattern, candlestick reversal pattern. We're at 4, right? Bear, I would say that it's trending down. That would be the only thing. So 1 bear versus 4 bulls, right? I'm going to go with the bulls on this one and put my money where my mouth is. And the other great setup we have here, I mean, just look at this every time. We came down on the 50, touched it perfectly. 125, very next day, we're at a $10 move. Very next day after that, 146. If you're in like a 135 call or a 130 call for the following week, I mean, and that thing goes $11 in the money, you know how much profit it is, especially on a newer stock like this where the float's lower and this thing can move? I don't like the stocks to forward split, because then the float's higher and it's not as sensitive to the buys. It doesn't move as well. Bounced every time. There, check. There, check. That's a candlestick pattern, reversal pattern, inverted hammer, but we closed below it. If you count that, it did bounce. We closed right there, 124, following day at 132. That is a bounce. Okay, there, we bounced here, we bounced here, came back down, bounced there, came back down. We did bounce up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every time it's hit the EMAs, it's bounced. So this is a good setup in my opinion. And I got into this before close. It was shocking to see how hard the options were moving here. I got in where? Yes, there it is. I got in right when it was jumping up and sucking back right over in here. I filled for 350, I think it was 350. And I had posted it at 345. I was typing it out for the chat. Filled at 350. Buy close. They were at on the ask 450. And that's when we were up in here at 91.55. Currently, we're at 94.61. These contracts should be worth $600 at open. And it would be nice to see this come back up to 96. What is this? 96.69. Let's go back to a daily. Where is that at this low body? Geez, 96.69. That's basically around this area right here in between these bodies. Yeah. I mean, that if we clear this candle right here, this is in an, if we clear this candle and we close above it, if we open up here, oh, that's telling me to keep holding, right? This could fly. We could even see, I doubt we're going to see past these bot. We could see the 100, right? Because we're going to open up at 96 right now. Let's go to the time in sales. Okay, we're at 94. Okay, so 94.50. So we're up in here. So, and if we can close above this body today on CRWV, we're probably gonna eventually hit the 100. That would be great. My target right here would be right around 96, where these bodies were, and I would expect it to reject. And if it ends up clearing that the following day, we're going to the 100. So this was a very good trade. Posted this in the group yesterday. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's get my mug in a clear area. $93 calls. We're in the money. This is at 94, as you can see over here, 67. 93 calls, 345 next week. Risky due to next week expiration. Hammering near the 200, beaten down. Everything forming a hammer on the daily. I didn't post a 1, 2, 3 reversal. Using profits from today for this swing. I had nailed target, and I had nailed, there was a couple of other trades that I had nailed. I had nailed some other trades. I got in a boatload of these contracts. It was over what I had profited, and I sold half of them. So now at this point, with what I made yesterday and the profit that I made off CRWV, the contracts that I have left are, I'm probably not, they're not free. One of them is, but you know, they're almost free, all but about 30 or 40 cents. So posted this TA right here, 1, 2, 3 reversal candle. Hadn't closed yet, but it was about to close, right? I'm showing you an example of a trade near the 200. Again, you all remember there, 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 there. And now here, we've bounced every time we've smacked the EMAs. Got in what? 340. I typed it at 345. You could, I don't know if you could have filled there. That's the bid was 340 to 350 at the time, right? When I'm typing, and the ask was 350. And as I get this out, then it's, you know, dancing between 345 and 355, 350 and 360. Doesn't matter if it's 5 cents off, 10 cents off. They're moving quick. Again, the float on this is what I'm assuming, because of how it's moving, that it's low. I actually haven't looked that up. Don't fact check me on that. Usually that's the case with the newer stocks. Optional exit. I'd put a bid in to fill at 410, and it had pinned the ask down, and I watched the bid run up, and the ask didn't move. I'm like, this is going to fill. And when it fills, the ask is going to fly up. And it filled. 410. Yeah, see, there's my trade right there. The last trade was 410. That was me filling. Which is wild to think that I'm the only one. Like, am I the only one trading this options contract? I'm like, what the heck is going on here? We shot up to 450, and then we straight up ripped after hours. Amazing move here. So if we have another crash, stocks like this, Snowflake, ARM, Now services, stocks with lower floats. Why am I pulling this up? These are stocks that I'd be looking at to get, especially when they have reversal candles when they're lower. Let me just see if I can pull. What was ARM at? ARM was at 79 and it shot up to 100. See what I'm saying? SPY jumped like, you know, from the bottom like 27%. This is up like 140%. It's ridiculous. Let's go ahead and take a look at this on a weekly. It's too new. What was the other chip company? We got ARM. Or not chip company. Snow is another one that moves like that. The candlestick pattern reversals on this are fantastic. You know, Snow back in April was 120 and went to 230. That's just ridiculous. So 240 would be 100%, but still that's a massive move. Massive move. Here's the, right as we're resting, look at this right over here. Little reversal candles. Now we're resting right on it, and then we have that monster move. That was earnings, though. Right there. That's a great setup right there. That's a setup right there. That's one of the best setups. You know, we came down straight 194, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight days, and then nicked it and then respected it. You can see that it bounced up, meaning it acknowledges that it's there, the 100, with a candlestick pattern reversal. If you had taken it when it touched it at 160, very next day we're up. You know, we had a high of 170, a $10 move the following day. That's just ridiculous. You know, you're having an $18 move. If you're in contracts on something like Snow, those things are going to move. But anyways, almost hammering right there on Snow. Right on the almost hammering. If this body was up a little bit more, I'd be more inclined to probably take that. But I think the play that I got was better. I like it, and it's up. We can see this closed at 194.80. We're at 195.49. It's up a little bit. But I'd like to see a giant crash before I would jump in something like Snow. But again, guys, let's wrap this up. High probability setups. Calm down. Wait for the trades to come to you. Monitor on the daily. Just kind of go through stuff. What about this stock? What about that one? What about this one? You can use scanners as well. They have scanners here in TOS, or you can use them on, they have sites where you can scan and you can filter the market cap. FinViz is one of them. There's other ones as well. And you can check stocks that are at their 50, 100, or 200. So we'll go into equity investing, and it's very simple. It isn't rocket science. I don't need a financial advisor, even though they don't use this stuff. The methods I use, but it's very simple stuff when it comes to swing trading. Day trading, now that takes some skill. It's very hard. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more.